The game that never ends. Yeah. It really feels like every time I take a step forward, I take 2 steps back somehow. Like, I feel like we're gonna get to the very end, and then Nintendo's gonna be like, oh, by the way, there's a whole nother DLC. And we'd be like, son of a bitch. May's your birthday month. Fire Emblem Fates gameplay as a gift would be awesome. I mean, that's the goal. I know we're close. We only have a couple chapters left, but there's so many supports left, and I'm really trying to get them all to watch on streams, so that's where there's a lot of... I mean, I play this game a lot off stream. So I'm trying. It's a process. I'm also going to be posting the DLC supports over on the Fire Emblem channel, so if you want to see them or if you missed any of them, I'm going to be focusing on those first because I feel like that's what people are going to be looking for since it's new content. And also, like, people who don't want to buy the DLC but still want to see the supports. So they're going to be over there. So, priority. I did complete 3 houses. Oh, man. And that took a while. But I feel like, I will say, completing 3 houses didn't feel as much, which is weird because it definitely was longer time-wise just because of all the routes. But I feel like for 3 houses, getting supports wasn't as much of a pain in the ass as it is here. It seems like it takes longer. And I'm also getting tired of, like, the same battles. You know what I mean? Like, I'm usually doing it while I'm, like, watching something or listening to music or doing something else because it gets tedious. It's miles easier in 3 houses? Okay, so it's not just me then. You officially beat engaged last night. GG. Hold on, I'm going to turn my fan. Relations. You only have to grind a tiny bit to get all of them. Yeah, it really didn't take too much in 3 houses. And you also have a lot of different ways to increase supports with people. I feel like even just in battles, it was easier for them to get supports. Like, maybe that's just me, but even pairing people or having people close to each other in battles, I don't feel like does too much. Also, you can't really take a lot of characters with you in these battles. Like, some of them are really small. You can only take a really small group. And there's so many characters at this point. It's just taking a while. So, engage only lets you get supports from adjacent allies on player phase when earlier games was any phase. Okay, that would explain it. That would explain it. Because I definitely don't feel like I get anything or not much at all in battles. It's always just coming and doing, like, the pool and stuff. And you have to do a battle in between that. So it gets really tedious to be going, you know, to keep going, doing a skirmish, come back, do the... So... Also, yeah, there's adjutants, and in an awakening, you could just pair people and all that stuff, so...
My day just got more awesome!
That's great, Fram. It's easier because there's adjutants and any character within attack range gets support points with each other, plus both phases. Yeah. Yeah. I wish, like, so many... The weird thing about Engage is that so many things in this game are, like, a downgrade from 3 houses. I guess it kind of makes sense because technically they were being made at the same time, but it makes me wonder why they made these decisions. Like, again, I think it's kind of crap that you have to go through and play the DLC again if you want the DLC characters. You have to play it per file, which is kind of shit. There's no New Game Plus, which is a bummer, because it would be nice if you did New Game Plus to start with all the donations done, for example, to carry your money over, stuff like that. The supports would be nice. The fact that you can't view supports outside of the save file is kind of annoying. Just little things that even were present in Awakening. It's very strange to see this kind of step back in some things. I don't understand why they did that. I think it's still bizarre when it's quality of life stuff rather than plot gameplay stuff. Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand why they took out pairing up. I don't either. It was okay in Three Houses because you did have the adjutant thing, and like it still kind of worked even without that. But I definitely notice it here more, I think. It's that weird feel that, yes, it's a new game, but why does it feel like DLC to a different game? Right. Pairing was balanced pretty well in Fates. I cannot speak on that, but I will take your word for it. So, anyway. I promise, working on supports outside of stream. It's slow going. And for the freaking bond, which we have a few to go through, but they're taking forever too. But I'm doing my best. I would like to get the regular supports all done by the time we're done with the game. The bond supports, it's just not going to happen. There's just too many. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah. It's funny, the story isn't good, but the thing that disappoints me most about Engage is that they don't pair people off in a 3-sentence blurb at the end of the game. Relations. I feel like that's probably because they have a younger cast, so they have a lot of characters that are not adults. At least that's my assumption as to why they didn't do that, but again, why they could have just had an older cast or done a time skip. But whatever. It is a bummer though, because the paired endings are fun. I think they're cute. But then, you know, you have like 12-year-old Fram, so that's kind of weird. 3 Houses had Flane and Cyril. Cyril was technically 20. I don't believe this, but they said in the game that Cyril was 15 pre-time skip and 20 post. So technically he's an adult, and Flane, I don't think Flane really should have married anybody, because that's kind of weird to me, but... Or just had certain pairs. Yeah, like certain ones. I could see that, Lacius, if... That would be fine. We don't get to find out that Louis was forgotten by history while his spouse went on to become famous. We didn't get to learn if Louis goes back to his home planet. The youngest characters post time skip are at least 20, which was nice. Yeah, so it didn't feel icky, with the exception of Flane, who I do love, but I'm just like, I feel weird pairing you with most people. Small one. I have also learned that Louis hated perceptive people, apparently. That sounds incredibly ironic. Tried hard to get Marin and Chloe together, only for there to be no blurb. Sadness. Oh, Lacius, write your own blurb. Write your own blurb. Put it in the Discord. If you guys want to do that, that's fine. I'd be okay with that. I must go now. My people need me. I would love to see Louis just, like, shoot off into the sun. Fram, I'm gonna stop walking near you if you keep screaming at me. Goodness. Anyway. A Fire Emblem fanfic club time? I mean, that's fine. They wrote a fanfic? Why shouldn't we? Melly. Yeah, except we had to pay for their fanfic. And it wasn't even very good. Dead dove, do not eat. Gave up trying to get all the supports. Just can't play this game after the ending. Game tier, that is what I fear. And that's why I'm trying to get all of them. Because, like, I feel myself burning out. You know? I feel it happening. And I'm like, I just need to push through and get these supports before the ending, because I am very scared that the ending is going to happen and I'm just going to, like, not want to touch it, because that's really what happened with Three Hopes. And I mean, Three Hopes had a better story for sure, but just going through the non-Violet route, like, just kind of killed that for me. I was just like, fuck this. Like, I just don't... It just sort of sapped the energy out of me, and I didn't want to keep playing, so... Wish I knew how to draw so I could do horrifying fan art. Well, thank you, Tim. We can try to picture it. It never gets better. I hate it and it never gets better. Game tier. Generally, when I beat a game, even if I love it, I stop wanting to play it. See, I'm not necessarily like that for beating a game. It's more, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, I get really fixated on a game and I just want to play it all the time. And then I just hit this threshold and I don't really know where that is. Sometimes it's if the game does something that I'm like not feeling. Other times it's just, I don't know, it's kind of random. And then I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then I'm done. Like, I was playing Disney Dreamlight Valley a lot off stream, just on my Switch, and was super into it. And now, like, all this other stuff is coming out for it, and I just haven't touched it. So I'm like, I'm good. That happens to me a lot. It usually happens towards the end of games for you. Really, Super Babylon? Yeah, it's weird because I don't always want it to happen, but then sometimes it just does. It's like, oh, I feel like I could keep enjoying this, but I'm just not feeling it. You know? That's what always happens to me with Animal Crossing. It'll come out and I'll be super hyped and just play it like crazy, and then I'll just be like, okay, and then I won't touch it until the next game comes out. Meanwhile, Kat's playing like every day and doing all their daily tasks every single day, and I'm just like, yeah, I haven't touched Animal Crossing. All my villagers are definitely dead. How have you been? I've been well, Chaos. Thank you for asking. I hope you have been too. When I do usually drop a game after I'm done with it 100% or doing as much as I think is reasonable for my skill level. Something like Three Houses I can occasionally go back to on a whim and enjoy myself. I think I would enjoy playing through Three Houses again. But the problem with that is there's so many other Fire Emblem games to play that I haven't yet and that people are excited for. So I can't justify doing that. Oh my god, I was playing Animal Crossing like crazy at first. We were doing Sunday morning turnips as a community and everything, and then just stopped playing. Yep, that's me. Waiting for a Cat for the Win playing Animal Crossing. Cat for the Win interrupted me recording playing Animal Crossing because I was recording supports. So then I had to re-record that support because it popped up. I was like, damn it. Fates is a Fire Emblem game I can play constantly, and I don't know what about it draws me to it, but it does. Well, that's good. I'm really hoping that I like it. I wasn't sure going into Awakening, ended up really liking Awakening, so I'm hoping that I will also enjoy Fates, especially because there's 3 games, so. Late game and updates for New Horizons was garbage. Yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm the wrong player. Like, I don't know. I tend to like everything just being there at once, so I can just kind of binge something, which I keep hearing people say binging is really bad for TV, binging is really bad for, you know, media. And I don't necessarily disagree, but that's just how I am as a person. I like just, you know, binging through something in one go, because if I put it down, then there's a good chance I'm not going to finish it. You know what I mean? And then I'll feel guilty, but that'll make me continue to not want to finish it. So I'm much better off just doing something all at once than doing it in chunks. To be honest, I couldn't tell you anything about Fate's lore despite how many times I've played it. That's pretty funny. Like, if you go back to the game, you'll feel embarrassed. Yes, I do this with books a lot, too. You know, where I'm really into a book, and either it'll lull or I'll get distracted by something else. And then I put it down, and then I'm like, oh, I should get back to it, but then I, like, feel bad about it. And then it just sits there. You beat Awakening on Lunatic mode? That's pretty impressive. It depends for me. If the base game feels finished, I'm fine with coming back for new stuff every so often. It's when a lot of the major gameplay stuff isn't there until post-launch for no reason. That is annoying. I don't like when games do that. But I will say I am kind of glad that the DLC for this game came out pretty early, because I feel like if I had finished this game and then the DLC came out, I wouldn't have wanted to necessarily go back to play that. And then if I had gone back to play it, I would have been more angry, I think. Because I didn't end up liking it very much. Sounds like me and Dragon Quest XI love the characters and the cheesy story, but replaying doesn't hit the same spark. Yeah, that's fair. Imagine waiting a year just to get the Xenologue, right? Like, because it took a while for us to get Ash and Wolves, but Ash and Wolves was really good. And I felt like it was worth the wait and was polished, and I liked it a lot. But if I had waited like a year to get the Xenologue and then played it, I feel like... Bram, I'm gonna knock you off the Somnial. But if I had waited a year to play the Fell Xenologue and then played through it, I would have been pretty pissed off. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, at least we got Celestia from it, which is the silver lining of that. But that's really all I can say. Fell Xenologue was nothing like how I expected. So after watching the trailer, I felt like that's probably how it was going to be. But before the trailer, I wasn't sure. Seeing the trailer, I was like, I have a bad feeling about this. And then it kind of went with it. Beat Birthright, Conquest, and Revelations on Lunatic mode is very tough anyway. That is really awesome. I will not be doing that. I'm just putting that out there now. As someone who likes to get as many supports as humanly possible, it would just be such a slog to do the really, really difficult, well, the higher difficulties. Like, it would just, it's already taking forever to get the supports. So if I was also dealing with a harder difficulty, it would just be even more of a slog. With Wolves, I think the multiple route thing and 4 new classes to play around with helped a lot, since that meant you could have new experiences with the various routes. That's true, and I thought the classes were all really fun. I got a lot of use out of most of them. And I just don't think I will... Like, if I were to play Engage again, I don't think I would necessarily use the newer classes. Like, Mage Cannoneer is fine, I guess. I haven't used Enchanter yet, really, so I don't really know the mechanics for it. But Mage Cannoneer is kind of... It's just not... I think I would have rather had... I don't know. Like, maybe another knife class? Maybe? Just something. Hi, Eco. It was simultaneously worse and better than what I thought it would be. The DLC. The classes that came with the Fell Xenologue were honestly not worth it. That's kind of how I feel about it. Although, like I said, I didn't really use the Enchanter class yet, so... Who's your favorite character from Fire Emblem Awakening? Favorite character from Awakening? I don't know if I have an absolute favorite. I really liked Lucina. And I love Libra, who doesn't get enough love. And I thought I was going to hate Libra, so that's fun. Tharja is one of my favorites, which I know is a boring answer, but it's just true. Fram, oh my god, I can't stand here anymore. I need to move. I'm sorry. I keep accidentally running into Fram and she screams at me and I can't deal with that right now. I ended up really liking Brady a lot. Crom is always fun. I mean, I feel like I like our versions, like what we came up with for the characters. Which is a little different than how they are. Your favorite is Scum Dad? Scum Dad. I'm glad you guys love Scum Dad. I hope you guys like Corin as much as Scum Dad. I hope that Corin can live up to Scum Dad. Mechanically, what kind of knife unit would you have wanted? I mean, I think I kind of like Vale's class, where she has, like, she can do magic too, which is kind of neat, and also she can use knives. That's kind of fun. That's unique to her. I don't know. There's just not a lot of options. Like, for a knife user, you can basically be a thief or you can be a wolf knight. So it would be just kind of nice to see something else in there, maybe. The thing with Awakening is, do we love this character because they're great in the base game or because of Iko and Kita? I feel like Yarn doesn't get enough love. You love him. Yarn was our child because I married Pan in Awakening. Spoiler, I guess. But I love Pan. She ended up being my wifey. Does not get enough
busy,
love.
Are you not?
Donald got more hate here than I expected, Lucy. Well, to be fair, Lacius was the head of that train. Lacius was the conductor of the Donald hate train. And I'm still in the Donald fan corner alone. Joker. That's okay, Joker. Listen, at least Donald isn't Rafal. It could be worse. You're gonna play poker and Yakuza all night? That sounds good. I mean, you saw what I did in Yakuza, so... Even Lacius says that Rafal is worse than Donald. We did still get a laugh out of him. And that's all I really want from characters, even if I don't like them. My favorite character in Fates, I have not played Fates yet. We are going to be playing Fates a little bit after Engage, whenever we finish this. We're going to be starting with Birthright and going from there. So that'll be soon, probably in May. So soon, Fates will happen. I mean, like, I like Camilla, but she's really the only character I know from Fates, and I only really know her from this game and a little bit in Heroes. So I don't think that's enough. But so far, I like her. Hope Nintendo remasters Awakening into the Switch. I would be down for that. I mean, honestly, I'm here for any remake on the Switch. It's just so much easier to play games on the Switch, and also stream them. So I'm here for any of the games getting remastered. Despite how much I've played Fates, I've seen very little support, so it should be interesting. I'd say my favorite Fates character, but being a kiddo, it's probably spoilery. Yes. May is your birth month, so you're excited. Oh no, I've ended up back near Fram. I can't be here. I will go this way. I will flee from Fram. The second gen is great minus everything surrounding the mechanic. Oh no. A few less silly supports from an Awakening remake would be nice, and rewriting a lot of Cordelia's S ranks. Cordelia's S ranks are really hard to watch. Oh, poor Frederick, man. Cordelia's S supports made me dislike her as a person. Once we're ready to play Fates, they're gonna add Boba supports? Probably. Hope one day Nintendo will put all the Fire Emblem 3DS games on the Switch. Have them for the 3DS. It would be nice. I could see it happening, especially with Fates, just because Revelations was just lost because of the eShop. So I feel like maybe they would prioritize it. I don't know, though. You know what I'd like more of? Supports with NPCs, like how Byleth could support with Rhea for some reason. I feel like Rhea is a criminally underutilized character, though. I feel like she should have been a lot more of a presence, especially in, well, in her own route, which she, like, wasn't really in that much. But they really kind of didn't give us a lot of Rhea content, which is very disappointing. And I would have liked to see her supports with Sedith Flame, like the other church people, some of the students even. I feel like she's such an interesting character, and we really just kind of scratched the surface. So I would like to see more. Definitely wasted potential for sure. Everyone was obsessed with Chrome. Children mechanic was easily my favorite thing about Fates and Awakening. I think, do some of the other games have that? Doesn't Genealogy have that too? Or am I misremembering? Because I don't think those are the only two that have, like, Genealogy does, sorta. But that's, oh, that's it? Genealogy, I think Thracia. I would honestly like the GameCube and Wii versions to be remade, because that playing on the Wii would be such pain. But also, it'd be nice to have casual mode for me personally. And I liked what we played of Path of Radiance. I thought it was pretty fun. Is Genealogy the one that's strongly being hinted at? Yes. And it's the one that has incest. So, there you go. Be interesting to see if they remove that or not. Imagine getting the Telly games without the support limit. That would be great. Genealogy is the one Dad's from. Yes. So, I mean, here's hoping. I think the franchise is doing pretty well because of Three Houses. And I don't know. It seems like the overall consensus for this game seems to be that people have enjoyed the gameplay. It's just the story is kind of lackluster. But I don't know if a lot of people like just straight up hate this game or anything. So I'm hoping it doesn't hurt the franchise. I don't think it will. But I feel like we're going to get more Fire Emblem content. Maybe sooner than expected. I don't know. That's just like, I feel like it's coming. I thought Fate's also had incest. Yes. You're correct. Probably something later this year. You mean like released this year or news this year? Because that, if it's released this year, oh, I have a lot to do. It's kept from being fully hated by good gameplay and characters, at least. Yeah, I think I would agree with that, Angel Feathers. Just from the limited things that I've seen, like talking to people, and have seen online, it seems like most people are kind of in the camp of like, well, the gameplay is pretty great and some of the characters are good, but the story's kind of Three Houses was really strong. But I am really glad that that was the first one I played, because, like, Three Houses really got me hooked on the series as a whole. So I'm willing to try the other games. I don't know if I would have been if I'd played this one first. I don't know. Maybe. Something announced at the very least. Dude, you know what they would do to me personally? Is they would put something out at the end of November for holiday time, right before Twitchmas, just to really fuck me over. I think that's what would happen. Combat feels tight here, but slight growth tweaks would be nice. Keep getting stats screwed without Star Sphere. Yeah, Joker, I get you. Also, I don't have as much fun messing around with classes in this game as I did in Three Houses, I will say. There doesn't seem to be as much room for experimentation, but hold on clipping this, Tim. If this happens, Tim's gonna bring this clip back in a couple months, I'm sure. But that seems like that's what would happen. There should have been extra camp. Miss the clipping you get when you put tiny characters in armor classes. Messing around the classes in Three Houses was a lot of fun over various runs. Armored, Flame, hype. Yeah, and I feel like that was more doable. I don't know. I feel more restricted here. New Fire Emblem this November, and Keto will become a full-time Fire Emblem streamer. I feel like I already am. I don't even know how many streams I've done of Fire Emblem. I know over 100. For sure. In total. But I don't know how many. I mean, Awakening was like 20. Was Awakening 20 or closer to 30 streams? It was at least 20. By itself. And then Three Houses was just a mess. Thank you, Tim. What's gonna annoy me is if we start doing Fates and then they re-release it for the Switch. Like in the middle. I hate that you can't keep class skills. Yes, agreed. I'm incentivized to not swap classes with all Chris if I want to keep Luna. Yeah, I don't like that either. That would be so funny. For you, Kayla. I swear if they do that. Okay. Look, we have to make some progress today. We have to. I'm so behind, I feel like, in this game. So,